Originally, I was going to do a more modern version of this ship from how many years ago? A lot of years ago. That's how many? Like 5 maybe. Oh, I'm at still 40 field of view. But while I was thinking, I think I have a better idea. That we can make an updated version of the ship and just an ultimate ship design system at the same time. And where's my cockpit? There. And here's how. I have fully realized it only recently, but cargo containers. Cargo containers. Cargo containers? Cargo containers. They are very good. Not as cargo containers, but as conveyors as well. So, what we are going to do is... What orientation are we in? Hello? Yeah, this ship is backwards. Let's... There. Let you will rotate you. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, cargo containers. What we do is we make central shaft, we attach stuff to it. That's it. It is that simple. It is literally just that simple. You build a big rod and you attach stuff to it. And by stuff, I mean stuff. We can make it easy to upgrade into any pass you want. Want more thrust? Add more thrust. Want more refinery assemblers? Add more refinery assemblers. Just anything and everything. And it's super efficient as well in terms of PCU and mass, because containers, well, 10 PCU, 2.5 tons, literally nothing for a large cruise ship. Plus you would need large containers anyway to store cargo, so you solve that problem as well. And that other stuff you just attach directly onto them. It's not going to be modular in the sense that you can detach stuff easily with merge blocks and connectors, because that stuff, it's useful in single player or just playing without limits, but this I just want to make an ultimate ship design system for that is efficient and is good in PCU limited environments like the official servers, for example. Because for 15,000 PCU that is on the ship, you can make so much more than this. So much more. I think I'm overthinking it again. It is just this simple. But there are so many ways you can arrange stuff in. Like you can stack them on top of each other, the containers, and then do this. But the core promise remains. The core promise remains. What the fuck did I just say? The core concept works. Where did the promise come from there? What was I thinking? Stroking out at the start of the video again. Anyway, the core concept and the core concept, the cargo container core concept. Kind of a joke there. Kind of. It remains. Yep. Alright, there's conveyor caps. Are there conveyor caps for the small grids? Yeah, there are. So if I wanted to, I could use them as decoration, like maybe here. Sorry, I am moving off topic, but this is what these long-term videos for are anyway. But you can't open it, no? Okay, but so you get a little bit of decoration, but you make the conveyor useless in exchange with the container, because then you can't access it. You can use it as a gribble in other spots, I guess. So that's nice that it exists, I guess. I wonder why I can't place it here. Is it... Oh yeah, the guns are sticking out. Okay. So at this point, it literally just does not matter how you build stuff. This is it. This is the system. You make a central, in factory terms, bus of cargo containers that can transfer stuff and connect stuff to them, and then you connect stuff to them. And the shape you want is just purely depends on what functionality you want and what your preferences in terms of looks are for the ship. But I guess if it's just all stretched out like this, it will be much easier to build, because you can access everything with the welder. Ship super easy. I mean, you can also stack functional stuff above and below it in like a plus shape. I just don't want to do that because I want a flatter ship and have a landing pad on top. Do the armor panel technique like we did on the ship here. Above the ship. And this stuff we don't need to be accessible by foot. So I guess at this point, while I still work out how we would attach stuff, I guess the gyroscopes. What do we attach gyroscopes to? I just can make some armor flat planes and attach them to that, and attach those to the containers, or slap them on the refineries or other durable blocks. So, I guess what I should work now is perhaps the control module, the bridge, the cockpit that we can attach. Just experimenting with shaping, but you can really see how you can easily improve the shape from just a cube to first you add some small slopes, then you break it up, and then you slope that as well, and bam. You have something that looks like an interesting ship from the top. It is just that simple. And under that you don't really need armor. Armor is useless even for combat ships. Unless you have a gravity drive and you can handle having kilotons of armor while still having like 10 Gs of upward acceleration. For combat ships you just want to have armor at the front and then always face the enemy. And have your ship be very thin with a small frontal profile. Just spawned in one of my older but newer older ships to check the functional components on it. This one also uses no DLC, by the way. I would say the design here is pretty cool looking in terms of technical details. In terms of functionality, it's not very convenient to use or build. It's all very weirdly packed together. Anyway, I think what we want to have is we want to have just a flat top, and we'll have the cockpit at the bottom. Because that way, when you're on the planet, you will be able to see under the ship instead of above it. Plus, you will be able to see all the thruster firing. So, one cockpit pointing forward in this direction, and then we'll have one pointing backward, or that won't be pointing backwards, this one forward, whatever your... Basically, it will be two-sided, this ship. Something I started doing for my ships a bit ago. It is useful to have cockpits in both directions, because one of them can oversee the ship lengths, and the other one can be very close to the exit, and you can also attach some tools to it and operate them easily. It's convenient. Yeah, as for the interior, we'll just shape out the boxes here. It won't really need to be super complicated. Just stuff to get around. Basic survival equipment. And then the user of it will be able to decide what to add. From DLCs, maybe. Let's see. Let's check other... Actually, this blueprint looked interesting on the workshop, so I downloaded it, never looked at it before. Industrial barge with auto-refit functionality. It's mostly... that functionality is mostly decorational, it's not really practical, but... Let's see. Oh, I really like... the wheels. Here, it looks interesting. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Oh, lots of upward thrust. That's pretty good. But let's check the interior. How do we enter? Oh, it's even a little bit asymmetric. That's very nice. All right, let's see. Problem with this types of doors is that if you're on the planet and you're a little bit tilted, you won't be able to go through them. Oh, so much text. Yeah. Let's see. Any other place? Lower deck, engine room. Can I get other stuff from there? To the cockpit, or do I need to surface for that? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not even pressurized here, so yeah, it's just internal maintenance structure. Something our ships don't have because we have everything exposed on the surface. And it's not human designed. It's designed for maintenance ships. Well, at least it will be. We don't really have anything designed as of yet. Is the entrance below, or where is the entrance? Why? The name is really funny. There's something here. These doors are so slow. Alright, let's see. Interior. DLC blocks. I guess it's not really that complicated. You just put a bunch of fancy blocks around the place. Oh, and this is a cockpit. Right? Huh. Okay, that's cool. It doesn't even have a big custom cockpit, it's just the cockpit you get. Please let me out. Hello? But I hate the scripted timer block doors. Let me manually open them. But I mean, this is a fancy fun ship, so... It makes sense why it would have them. Oh, nice double spotlight. Asymmetric. Very cool. Yeah, I like how it looks. Very nice. Ship. Yeah, okay. We can repaint it. There we go. This yellow. Beautiful. Well, that's cool. Anyway, I think a good way to see an interior that's non-DLC is if we go on the workshop and look for older ships. And to get to older ships, you just go to most subscribed, because most of the most subscribed stuff is very old. It had a while to sit. Alright, there it is. Old stuff. Just old stuff. Oh, beautiful. Crazy how few shapes people had back then. I haven't played at that stage. I joined the game quite late into its development. Was this modded? Why is there conveyor missing here? I'm actually not sure what's happening here. Maybe it's intentional. What is this assembler stuff? Did they not have upgrade modules for them before? At that point? Look at the light spam. So many lights. How many lights does this have? Oh, that's not how you do it. 150 lights. Oh my god. Small reactor spam. I don't know. Did they... There are no large reactors at the time, or is the creator just having a funny moment while designing this ship? Okay, yeah, this is just the backrooms. We can do much better. Even if we had the same selection of blocks as of the time. And look at the light spam, there's a light leak every few blocks. Was there no option to adjust the light distance or what back then? Or was the creator having a funny moment? You don't know with this stuff. What are... Huh? Stop shooting. Alright, we haven't gone to the cockpit. Okay, yeah. That's the cockpit. Oh my god. This thing just cannot turn. Holy hell. Jesus. Was gyroscope power adjusted or again? You don't know with this stuff. If the original creator had a funny moment, or if stuff got changed, because I would need to check that. Okay, but yeah, this is... We have a lot... Okay, there's some thingies here. Still small reactor spam. But yes, for ship this size, it kinda makes more sense. Let's see what we have here. Script block. Decent cockpit. I'm not sure why there's this walkway down here. You could remove it and have higher visibility. God. Yeah, I think stuff got adjusted because like it shouldn't max out the power generator. Unless it always did, and it still got very popular. Despite that, okay, all the stuff is by JD Horks. Let's get something by someone else. I looked at these ships before multiple times in the past. Because, well, they are the popular ships. Yes, load. Hello? What is happening? Copy to clipboard. There. Just let's press that. Alright, let's see what we're working with. I'm assuming this stuff... Interesting, all this stuff has ion thrusters. Were ion thrusters the only option back then? Was there no hydrogen thrust in the early days of the game? But yeah, we got thruster spam, and I guess there was no survival, so it literally was just... God, look at this. Turret spam. Interior turret spam especially, it's really funny. Alright, let's see. Yeah. This is further into the game's development because they have these 2x1 slopes and not 1x1. Hello, turret. Authorized personnel. I'm pretty sure it is written with multiple N's. Why is there a rain? Yeah, stop it. One of the ships is shooting again. I think it's the armed ship has some stupid setup. Yeah, this thing. In the turrets. I think I set them up a bit too aggressively. That's a lot of seed spam. There wasn't much to decorate with back at the time. Oh my god. Oh, the light spam. Holy hell. Mission scheduled for today, boys. I approach new film in the lounge. Engineers still service be done by the team to change. Okay. Lore. Oh, we got the jetpack pipe. This is the elevator system in the ship. You just fly in the tube. Amazing. Oh, there's no gravity here. Ah, neat. Oh, or at least very low gravity. Okay. Oh my god, the light spam. Holy hell. Crazy. Scoured around the place. There's the Earth map. There's a ship. Lights, 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 just lights everywhere. What's down there? What is this? Missile bay? No, just the reactor room. I thought I saw some missiles in the spectator mode. Something like... What is this? So much weird stuff. That I have no idea what it's all for. Spherical gravity. How did we get here? Oh yeah, where we fell from the roof. It's a very strange ship design. Oh, wow, that's a lot of rockets. Yeah, I guess it is pretty boring. This one looked nice. Yeah, also no DLC. Let's see, maybe a more decorative build like this would have an interesting interior. At this point we're just workshop browsing. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, let's look at this. There's a bunch of unwelded blocks for decoration. Not something we will be using because it's not very practical in survival. But they definitely did try hard in a good way. Make this stuff look good. Oh my god, it's a freaking scripted airlocks. I hate them. Okay, yeah. It's pretty simple. The light spam. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking you could not adjust the light range back then. Because otherwise, this does not make much sense. With how many lights there are just everywhere on every ship. I guess there isn't that much in terms of interior you can do, really. Looking at the ships, that's what I'm getting. Let's look at this weird one. They get this weird shape by bending armor blocks. Or no, it's all just normal armor block shapes. They just placed them really well together. Yeah, that's just pretty good work on armor shaping. There's some stuff missing around here. Or is it on purpose? Yeah, maybe it's on purpose because it looks complete, but there's still some stuff missing, so... Okay, how do we get inside? Hello? What is this? How? Where? Where's the entrance? Yeah, I might just have to teleport inside at this point. Hello? Entrance, please? I am blind or stupid. It's one of those things. Oh, there it is. Okay. It was just very well hidden. Welcome to Brunhilder. Brunhilder. Okay, let's see interior. Lights. Yeah, it's all... Oh yeah, beds. Very simple beds made out of these thingies. It looks like beds at least, I'm assuming. Or just storage racks. But yeah, definitely. They seem to have taken up the strategy of just spamming fancy looking blocks everywhere, which is a strategy that I approve of and make use of myself. So yeah, I guess... And again, we don't want to copy stuff, we want to see if we missed anything in our thought process, but it doesn't seem to be more complicated than having an armor hole and then just spamming random blocks after you've done all the functional stuff. internally. In fact, let's go back to the ship. No DLC in this one. A more modern version of no DLC style. Look, there's like no armor blocks, pretty much just armor panels around, but all this stuff just fancy. Yeah, look at this. Even without DLCs, you can get some pretty decent detailing. Definitely doesn't look like the back rooms. It looks like a weird structure, but it doesn't look like the back rooms. Damn, I really like this interior here. Not gonna lie. Alright, enough glazing myself. Let's go at the workshop again. Let's see. Anything interesting looking on the workshop? Anything interesting on the workshop? Okay, continuing to browse the popular stuff. Actually, if you sort it by non-alphabetical creation date. Okay, now we can kind of see the eras of when stuff was created. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Still no DLCs here. Is there a date maybe somewhere? I mean, there's a date on the workshop, but... Well, this one looks more modern and fancy, and there are 7 planets in the background, so... Oh, the pivot point is messed up. Classic. I mean... There's only one right direction, and 5 wrong ones. So, it would make sense why, if you don't try to make the pivot point aligned, you would probably screw it up. Alright, let's see what we have here. Exterior, I'm not really interested in exterior shaping. I think as long as it looks good from above, then it will look pretty good from all other sides as well. It's I kinda have like a mushroom shipbuilding philosophy at this point, where it just has a hat, and under that it just has weird bulbous stuff of functionality. Ouch. Alright, another ship where I have absolutely no idea where the entrance is. Shaping is nice, but this amount of thrust is just baby stuff. Like, how much does a ship weigh? 4 kilotons. Yeah, this is baby thrust. This would accelerate it at like what? Like 2-3 meters per second squared. Baby stuff. You want at least a few G's of acceleration. Well, I guess maybe not forward, upward is what matters. Really. Okay, yeah, we are here for the interior. Open space here. Again, we'll have all our functional stuff exposed, so it won't be like that. Very nice glass windows. Yeah, I guess you don't have to decorate the spots where you just have the windows going into space. Kinda makes sense. So we could literally just have functional stuff, then around it a little bit of pillars and decoration, and then everything else is just as many windows as possible. Alright, this one I want to see also. Where are you at? It's orange, so it must be good. Also, it's weirdly shaped. I like bright colors and weird shapes. Like my two favorite things. The more extravagant in its originality, the better. Let's check it out. So yeah, this is kind of spiritually also a funky space crustacean. To some extent, it even has the weird. It even has the weird armor panels on the sides of it. I bet I probably looked at this thing while I was designing this one. Because there's just way too many design similarities. I mean, it is on the second page of most subscribed blueprints if you sort by 30 blueprints per page, so... I remember seeing it a lot before, and I bet it has etched itself into my memory. Even if subconsciously. Let's see. Oh, glass. There's no gravity. I guess it is atmospheric. You're approaching an active flight deck. Proceed with caution. Ah, okay. Flight deck. Is this stuff called a flight deck? Wait, is it called a flight deck? Flight deck. Flight deck, landing deck of surfaces of an aircraft carrier. I guess, yeah, that's it. Never connected the term to the actual location before, somehow. But yeah, I like this ship. It is nice. It is good. I approve. Stop shooting, oh my god. Turrets? What were we shooting at? Target neutrals. Off. There. Stop shooting. Is this literally just a landing pad that flies? I guess there's a little bit of processing here, but it's mostly a landing pad that flies. There's very little actual functional components for how big it is. It do be nice, and I like the lights blinking. Probably took a bit to set up. Not too much, but a bit. We even have the spotlights lighting stuff up. Okay, this is very well designed. I have to say it. It really matches my own design philosophy. The person who made it is... what is it? Edgar Allan Poon. Okay, amazing name. They stopped building in 2017, that's when their last blueprint came out. They have nice stuff, it's all orange and stuff. Oh my, okay, yeah. You have to see this. Like, this is stuff I would follow, but I need to clean up my follows, because apparently I followed 250 people. Oh, yes, it worked. Huh. Strange. I couldn't follow people before. I thought I hit the limit of people I followed. Maybe someone deleted their account. Anyway, I need to clean that up. But yeah, look at this. It's all orange, and it's just these big flat shapes. You know, this could be pretty good inspiration. And by inspiration, I mean just ripping out the ideas out of it. I mean, that's how inspiration works. So. Okay, yeah, they also started with boring colors. Oh, they even have modular okay, yeah. This is real. We found the real one. Modular stuff, colorful ships. Big panels. This is very similar design philosophy. It's cool to see. Wait, Author Gope Scope. Did they change their name? what's the author for this? Gope Scope. Yeah, they changed their name. Okay, it's fine. It just displays the old name still. It just takes so long to load. Huh? Is there subgrids or something here? Let's check. No subgrids. Why did it take so long to load? What the hell? It's weird. Oh my god, look at this raster layout. And it's really nice. Oh yeah, and they have the segmented design as well. Oh my god. I'm gonna bust. This is so good. Crazy. I want to see this. Let's see. That's pretty nice. A little bit jagged and rough, but overall pretty nice. Some subgrids here. Okay, let's go inside. Can we go inside? You know? You have any normal doors that are not subgrid ramps? Okay, what's down here? Maybe there's an entrance somewhere here. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, it's automatic doors. Okay, very bare bones. Cool. With functional stuff. Nope, there's a window here. Huh. There really isn't much here. Okay, is this an exit or is this... Wait, so how do we get to the cockpit? Hello? What is this exit for? Strange. Cockpit, please? Ah, there it is. Open up. Oh my. Thrusters in the cockpit. That's really funny. I bet it gets really hot in here. Stacked cryopods. Okay, yeah. I haven't found anything super duper breakthrough in terms of non-DLC interiors. Let's see. Will this ship use DLC? Alright, let's delete you. And... Oop. Let's see. This one is weird. I really like the use of blocks on it. This is very nice. Very crazy looking. I don't think I'm going to be linking them in the description, but you can pause the video when I spawn them in to see the name and they are all in the most subscribed list on the workshop anyway, so just go look through there. You find them. Let's see. Bare bones, some decorative interior blocks. But they got some nice shaping going on the inside. Like a bunch of slopes instead of just flat armor walls. And the lighting is also very nice and atmospheric. Yeah. Windows. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, let's see what we have else. This one, no DLC. Ugh. Oh, 16,000 blocks. What the hell? That is massive. And for an old DLC ship, it looks very modern. Wait, what year is it from? What year is it from? Patrios class battleship by Hyperschnitzel 2020. Okay. So it's closer to modern times than ancient Space Engineers history. The game is getting framey, noticeably. Okay, exterior is exterior. We are interested in the interior. And here, and look at this decoration of these round shapes. It's pretty nice. Sloped roof, very good. Interior, sloped walls, very good. See, boring stairway. Sloped, it's a bit flat but detailed. Very dark in here. Green light coming out from somewhere. Emergency engines. Oh, neat. Okay. Hangar control. Yep. It do be like that. It do be like that. Oh, you can go up here. Okay, it's very dark, so I can see very well. Okay, the green light is coming from here. The bridge. Damage control. And by damage control, you just mean projector. Okay. Oh, it's very red in here. What? Why the hell? Are you doing photograph processing up here or what? I mean, it is very cinematic and ambient. Straight out of Space Odyssey. I like it. Looks pretty cool. Oh my god, there's so many thrusters. Okay, I want to see the stat screen. 187 lights, thrusters, 269, SPCO 157. Oh, 20 kilotons, oh my god. How many gyroscopes does this thing have? For it to rotate as well. 379, oh my god. That is crazy. This one also follows the design principle of having an armor panel on the top and then just globular weird stuff under it. Though they did it with armor blocks instead of functional blocks. Let's see, I think I subscribed to something else, right? Where are you at? There, long chongus. Longus chongus. What the hell? 151,000 blocks? Wait, what? I hope some of those are projectors. Okay. I'm clicking too much. Copy to clipboard. Oh, no, I don't want to interrupt loading. Okay, I just... Do I just have to wait? Yes, I do. The sync is a lot bigger in reality than it looks on the image, because on the image it doesn't look that big. Okay. Guess I just... And then I will wait. Okay, there we go. I need to wait a minute or two. Okay, it's only 18,000 blocks. I guess they have a bunch of projectors inside, they're just inflating the block count. Or whatever else. Okay, if you look close at it, it's pretty simple actually. It's just a bunch of these 2x1. 2x1 slopes everywhere. But it does look pretty good from a distance. Oh, is this is this a gravity cannon? Those are definitely a fun sync. I don't know how practical they are. Even back in the day. Probably impractical if you fight against someone who has actual proper amount of thrust and can dodge stuff. Oh, this is nice. With gyroscopes. Scary. If one of these detaches, it will just shred through the entire area here. And this area is pretty nice. Yeah, the interior is pretty good. Simple but good. Nice view. The hangar. Yeah, notice the sloped blocks again. It's very nice. That's very nice. Wait, why is there so many turrets here? Well, this is cool. I will eventually have to stop looking at ships and actually build my own, but whatever. Let's keep looking at stuff and provide extremely useless insights into them. That one looked interesting. I think I also looked at this one before. I mean, I looked at most stuff on the most subscribed page before. I do have like 2,500 hours in this game somehow. I have no idea how I got that many. It doesn't feel like I should have that many, but I have that many somehow. It's very nice and asymmetric thingy here. In fact, I don't even know where the top width is. Well, I guess that explains. Oh my god, there's so many oxygen farms. Alright, now let's play the game of where the hell the entrance is. Oh, they even have a merge block dotting thingy. Pretty cool. Hello? Entrance, please? For a station of this size, for it to not have a landing pad also. You'd think they would have a landing pad and a nice entrance from there. But I guess not. Or maybe it's just big enough that I'm missing it. Okay. We are just going to spectator in. We are wasting too much time. What? Huh. Strange. I guess it's just a glass bubble. With a bunch of ground down blocks and light spam. Not very... Okay. Is this? No, this is not an entrance. Dock bay... Extending and retracting. Only if the correspective... Oh my god. You'd think you spent so much time on building this, you could at least, like, proofread the text. Also capitalize stuff properly. So just small text pisses me off. For some reason. At least they didn't misspell the hangar bay as hangar bay. I hate that when people do that. Hangar. Like, it's the code hangar. It's hangar. So props for them to spelling this properly. Wee. What is this? A docking room. Oh. Yeah. We are not getting any new insights into how to build stuff from this. We are only confirming that we should just keep doing stuff. Hello, subgrids. Oh yeah, the funky spacecraft station. Let me look at the interior here again. Yeah, it's literally just a glass bubble. A bunch of these walkways, the new ones that you can get without any DLCs. For detailing. More glass, just empty rooms with glass everywhere. Some empty rooms here. If you had DLC blocks like beds and stuff, you... Oh, in fact, didn't they add non-DLC beds recently? Comparatively recently. Beds, bed, singular. Yeah, there we go. This is DLC, and simple bed. Neat. I guess we can decorate stuff after all. With some bedding if you want to. Neat. It's always nice being able to look out on the out the window and see a bunch of the ship. It's cool, I think. It's pretty cool. Alright, there we go. Quick mock-up. Slightly extended it. We also moved some armor panels a little bit outwards, towards the center. Also added some functional stuff. Right now this is a somewhat functional ship. Somewhat. And the PCU count is only 4000. We even have the gyroscopes on it. We don't have like stuff like connectors yet, but this is more capable than the PLS 160, that big gray rod. It is more capable, but it is much cheaper. It is a design. Let's just say that. The armor, let's see how much the armor contributes to mass, I wonder. We... 2 kilotons right now. Okay, if we strip all the decorative armor, let's see how much we are going to be at. And we go down to 1.6 kilotons. Okay, so it's very little. And the PCU, okay, we drop like 1000 PCU. Yeah. So, and here's the ship without its armor. Oh. Let's just remove the stuff from here ourselves. Now I just slapped this slab of material very willy-nilly. Willy-nilly. Once we know the actual shape of the ship, then we can adjust the slab a little bit better to it. Maybe expose the atmospheric thrust, because it is nice and spinny. And maybe have like bigger wing extensions over the hydrogen thrust here and there. But the concept works, I think. Let's fly around for a bit. It doesn't only make it look better from above. It makes it look pretty good from other directions as well. Just having this flat slab of armor. Such a funny ship. Yeah, it is ridiculous to fly it in zero gravity. But you do get used to it. Neat. Very nice. We can add more reactors. This one is just fully optimized for the fun of it of a single reactor, but on a large grid field. We'll want reactor redundancy, and not just have a single reactor powering everything. Okay, been doing a little bit more work, experimenting with stuff. We have this big pressurized section in the back for all the crew stuff and maybe even a hangar. Again, everything is very easy to modify. It's all quite segmented. I think how we will do interior. Of course, when I looked at all blueprints, I forgot that now we also need to grow food and stuff. How we're going to do interior is, I think, instead of small tight corridors like most other ships have, we will have something like, what's it called? What's it called in like Trent terms? Open concept? Yeah, I need to check what open concept is to make sure it's not some sort of indecent term. Yeah, open plan, floor plans that makes use of large spaces. Yeah. Basically, it will be just like a giant warehouse where you can then add your own stuff and make balconies. Kind of an airport feeling inside of the ship. But yeah, I think it looks quite decent. From the front, like a barge. From the top, not so bad. The atmospheric thruster holes are quite big. Could remove them. Or could keep them. It does look off-balanced in terms of thrust, but you need to remember that all the heavy stuff is in the front, so it is pretty balanced actually. In terms of mass, not visually. Let's see from the side, because there's a big blob at the back, and yeah, I think it looks pretty nice from the side as well. There's a bunch of stuff in the way. So we can see it very well. I mean, yeah. It's not terrible. And if you put a cockpit somewhere on the side here, we even get a view downwards, below the ship. So, Europe. Again, I feel like this is way too small for a hangar, like we barely can even fit the door in here. Okay, I want to try something. What if we limit ourselves, like, really hard? And by really hard, only using cubes. Because if we manage to build something that looks nice only out of just cubes, it will be very useful, because cubes are a shape that is easy to modify, because when we start adding decorational stuff, it's going to increase the amount of work needed to modify the ship by a really big amount. But if we add cubes, if we build out of cubes, it's very easy to modify and attach new extensions and stuff to it, or remove stuff from it. Because fancy blocks are found on the edges of the grid. So when you remove red stuff, you create a new edge. And then you need to repeat the process. Which is annoying. The less of a process there is, the faster you can build stuff. Also, I think we can add way more refineries here. And assemblers. Or assemblers may be enough. Or maybe not. Again, we can always add or remove stuff, so it's like, who cares if we overkill it a bit. Alright, the safe zone is here. Alright, so let's do that. Let's do that. Remove this section. Paste this onto it. Remove this section. Cut this. Add another container. Here. Another one. Reattach this section. Enable symmetry. Select refinery. Add more refineries. There we go. Add more O2H2 generators. Check the PCU count. See that it's 5000. And that's really good. Turn off the signals. Paste it. What the hell? Whoops. Paste it again. Alright, let's see. We cannot connectors on top of these containers here, so yeah. Let's see. We'll want a big panel along the length of the ship, I think. These thrusters here, we want to have something like this, perhaps. Also back here as well. Over here, we'll want to have another landing pad, like that. Let's see. How should we break this up? So it doesn't look that boring. We need to switch colors, perhaps. Let's try doing that. Mm, I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. How well would this look? Oh my god, the sound of painting so many blocks so quickly. It's really funny. Very satisfying. Let's see. It's so weird looking. But I like it. It is something new. That's for sure. It's kinda like we're making pixel art here. To an extent. If you're making pixel art, should we do some shading perhaps? I wonder. What if we do make a pixel art approach towards this? Kinda. Let's see, and we're going to switch from many bits. Let's see, 24 to, yeah, 12 bits. No. Yes, let's see. Yeah, 12 bit. So instead of having like FF, we pretty much just have this, both letters should be similar. Pretty much. Or numbers in a color. And that switches you from having many like a lot of basically 2 by 24, not by 24, but 24's whatever it's power, 12's power. So that scales down the amount of colors you have down. I don't remember the exact number. Oh yeah, in fact I do. I think it scales it from like 15 and a something million to, was it 16? 16 or was it 7? To like 4,000, right? The 2 in 6 power is... 2 in short power is 8, then 256. 256 by 256. You get... Wait, no. I'm messing up something with the calculation. 8 by 8. No, I'm stupid. 8 by 8 is 64. 64 by... Yes, so it's 64 by 64. Yeah, that's 4096. And then we... 4096 by 4096, we get... 16 million with something. Anyway, that scales the amount of colors from 16 million. If we have 256 RGB values down to 16 by 16 by 16, so I use that method when I painted my relatively recent Minecraft skins. So yeah, this is kind of we are taking a Minecraft approach to it. Alright, allow me to pull out my Minecraft skins. I have a video on that. Here it is. There. But as you can see, it's 3 colors of orange, and then pretty much 3 colors of kind of the yellowish or whatever, gray, and then we have black and super yellow for the eye. But for the armor itself, it's like 3 colors of gray, 3 of yellow. And all of them, you can see color as here. All of them are 12-bit colors. Okay, I might actually... Yeah, let's use the colorful gray instead of just blank gray that we use right now in Space Engineers. Let's do that. And let's see. How did I shade stuff? How did I shade stuff? Like, probably make it lighter from outside. That would make sense. And then darker towards the middle. Because in Minecraft skin I shaded it from the top. But here there's not really a ship top, so we just shade it from the sides. I guess we could shape it from like the front backwards. That could also work. Yeah, and it's much easier to paint stuff than build blocks, because you can just replace it immediately instead of needing to rotate the block when placing it, and you need to remove the old blocks. Plus, having different colors creates this edge on the armor, which you can use as detailing. There's a helicopter flying really low. I can feel the air vibrate physically, not just hear it. Okay, it looks interesting. Let's shade the orange bits as well. Okay, the original color of orange is also in the 12-bit configuration already. Yeah, it's really quite fun. Quite an interesting approach in combining multiple multiple areas of design and using pixel art as a way to design a ship. Let's see. Maybe it makes more sense like this. And we'll modify the yellow stuff as well. Ah. It's kinda cool, I think. I like it. It's so colorful on the surface. I wonder, what if we change it to better armor? That is... yeah. Okay. One more experiment. Rust armor. Oh my god. That is nasty. What if we go for like actual just pixel art flat? Yeah, if it's flat, then it's flat. I'm not sure how well this works for a ship, but it is definitely interesting. We don't really need to focus on styling right now. What we need to do is to make it work. And here's an improved concept. We add a spacer container that can be easily removed without disrupting other components to expand every section. Because we kind of want this to be like a modular system. You could also add merge blocks if you want. And then we'll have some interior stuff at the back, I guess. Or we could make variants of it that go on the top of the ship as well. Just be less than 60 for scale. Yeah, we just want this to be a big industrial barge. By the way, all this, only 5600 PCU. You can build a lot of stuff, even on kin servers with their 20k per player limit if you don't spam stuff like lights, doors, and small thrusters. Just all function. Push containers to connect stuff. That's it. It is just that easy. The hard part comes from designing stuff. For me at least. We might change our gray color from the previous one that we used everywhere. It is value 25, 40, 40, 40 hex to 44444444. Just for that 12-bit thingy. Because why not? Yeah, what if we... Oops. It's all sci-fi armor, right? Yeah. 25. Wait, is it not 25? What is the PLS was 60 painted with? What's the color here? No, it is 25. Okay. Wait, is it really that much of a difference between 26 and 25? The hell? Wait, I put it into 25 back and it looks brighter than it was before? What? I think I'm going insane. Kind of visual illusion. Maybe the symmetry plane is messing with me. Yeah, it's only slightly brighter. Literally does not matter. That is very yellow. Oh, maybe it's the camera to exposure adjustment that's screwing stuff up visually and making it weird. What if orange? What if we orange it up? That is very orange. What if we make it yellow? Oh, that is very yellow. Actually, it doesn't look that bad when it's very orange. It just looks very orange when it's very orange. The rusty orange. Oh, nasty. Nasty orange. Oh yeah, by the way, you know that no, you don't. You probably don't know that I started like 5 years ago building a big ship, 240 meters. Didn't finish. This John Goose. It's from the same era as P-1160, but this one was not finished and not published. Actually, I have a bunch of these ships that I even finished one for some reason. I just did not publish. Was it? Okay, this one I don't think is finished. Yes, this prototype, I think. But yeah, this one is right. This is kind of finished. It just needs painting. I don't remember publishing this one. In fact, I don't even remember making this one. It's pretty nice. What else? 17. Tiny pot. 15. Jump drive. And I think this one is for... this one. Yeah, look at this. Weird chongus. This one is finished. It looks very cool. I need to publish it. I need to content farm of the stuff I've already done. Also, the modular system. I think it's in one of the memes, the cursed engineer one, but what was it? MLS? What was the name on it? This is probably not even all of my blueprints. There's an elevator. They published this rover? I don't remember. This weird thing that is very slow and just has a big railgun. Completely useless. Looks very funny. By the way, it's all just full blocks of armor, and then I added some decorative blocks on it. So if you want to do full blocks of armor, then this is one of the methods you can do. It looks pretty cool, actually. That is just unhinged. Look at this. By the way, there's no interior, pretty much. It's all functional components in a shell. It's so stupid. Completely useless. It doesn't maneuver at all. It barely flies. Like... But it does fire really hard. Oh. How much PCU? It's 33k PCU. Alright. The alphabetical creation date. And we switch to local. There. Why is there a bunch of these ships in the oldest creation date? What? In fact, what the hell even is this? Bro, what is this? Oh my god. What was I cooking? Yeah, this is not the creation date order at all. Yeah, there's a bunch of the CHI blueprints that I haven't finished or published. Is it? No, the armor in this one is pretty much done. Just needs painting. There's absolutely no reason for me not to publish this. Because why not? What is this, by the way? Is it Atmo Ion Hybrid? Yes, it is. Oh my god, the maneuverability of this is horrible. Does it have any jump drives? Two of them. Okay. Only there we go. The modular, weird, overbuilt system. It's on merge blocks and connectors, and all of this does not merge because look, there's no actual edge for it to merge to. It's, you know, it's all just sharp edges. It just so you can merge and unmerge it totally fine, and it was just this massive amounts of blocks with the interior. Pretty cool, but not very practical and very expensive. In fact, what is the weight of one of these modules? It's converted to station. Yeah, this one already. 1700 tons. 1.7 kilotons. Absolutely unhinged. And wait, how many blocks was it? 1500. This one thing. I certainly did build stuff back then. Oh, there's even Mark II lettering on here. I haven't noticed that before. It was like 5 years ago, so I don't remember much. But I definitely do build a lot more efficiently nowadays. Let's see, the apartment compartment, the apartments in here. Again, we are going on just tangents all over the place. Yeah, okay, it's something. Look at this. This is so little thrust for a ship this size. Yeah, I guess I was more copying stuff in terms of functionality from the workshop instead of developing my own super duper efficient method of doing things. Practically. And most people in the workshop just build stuff for looks and barely touch survival. Yes, let's plan out stuff. I wanted to make some balls just to see how they would look. Here's 15 block diameter ball. It looks spherical, but not really what we need. The proportions on it are a bit off, but it looks spherical enough. It to be like that. It to be balling. I don't know. It looks very classic. Just needs the stuff to be extended upwards and downwards as well, and it looks like a realistic ship. But yeah, I don't think we're going to go with the balls. They're way too awkward to work with. You want something more similar to this. Okay, I did do the other directions thingy, as I was talking about. This is not what we're going to go with for the ship, but I just wanted to see how it looks. Again, you can go into this direction if you want. It's just not something that we really need. We are going with a more flat design, I think, so that we can land on planets and also have landing pads on top of the ship. But it does look interesting. Man, I have been just... Yeah. Okay. This looks like kinda like a little bit like ass, to be honest. I think we are going to do this something else. Check this out. Horrendous interior. Very human design. The design is very human. Anyway, I think we are going to rip the styling of the... Where is it? There it is. We are going to rip the stylings that I used here because that's pretty good, I think. Just these thin catwalk panels as plating, because using these full blocks just meh, you know, meh. And we aren't going to make it easy to modify. We are just going to make it modular. So I think how we're going to do it is having a central hub where you can go around other sides, and then you can add some modules here, like for example the place where you grow your wheat. By the way, we are using air vents instead of conveyors because they cost the same amount of PCU, but they show up on the control panel, so you can diagnose potential issues. Also, if you're in the atmosphere, you can suck it really hard if you need to. But yeah, let me cook some more off camera. And I will be back eventually. The design is very human. Well, we definitely built something that no one has built ever before. What the hell is this? I mean, it looks pretty good, actually, I have to say. It is heavily reliant on silicon, let's just say that. Silicon-based ship form. Yeah. Similar style to this, but damn. The only attachment points are the doors. Completely optional, you can remove the doors. Oh, actually wait, they aren't completely optional. What would you replace the doors with to keep stuff airtight if you want to save on PCU? Wait, I might have screwed up. We might need to make the connections airtight even without the doors. It's an easy fix, we can just round them in other blocks. But yeah, you would want to have the option to remove the doors. Oh, forgot to remove this glass block here. Well, not this one. Okay, yeah. Oh damn, I didn't even realize that the farm plots emit light. I just noticed, like, I remove power, I add power, it's like, oh, it suddenly lights up. Ah. Well, I guess they all emit light. How much PCU do they cost? 30, okay. Interesting. Well, look at this. I think it looks even cooler than before, with these added thingies around the doors. All non-DLC blocks, by the way. You can really cook hard with this stuff. Hmm? Yeah, if you have a big window, you don't have to gribble. Gribble, grovel. Gribble, gribble. Gribble, gribble. You don't have to gribble, gribble. Gribble, gribble. Gribble, gribble. Gribble, gribble. Okay. Let's... Oh yeah, I switched back to the battered armor because... I need it. I need the battered armor. Now let's just attach a few of these farm modules to see how they look together. We need a medical module, we need a bridge module. Huh. Okay, the sun is moved around. Damn. It actually looks really cool. I think we managed to make something new. Like, this doesn't even look like Space Engineers at this point. It's way too detailed, I think. It's these small shapes everywhere. Oh yeah, plus I succeeded in making them, like, have gaps between the modules. That's something I also like, just big gaps. Ooh, and because of the big gaps, you are able to do another thing that I also like. And the thing being able to look out at the ship you're on. And see various parts of it, like, look at this. You can really see the ship. Yeah, there's no lights here. We would need to add that. Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. And again, this is, I would say, relatively simple to design. Like, you can see the clear logic behind how I use these blocks. You just use the blocks that fit into the spot that you need. And then you also use this flat half armor thingies as an edge. And hang overhang. Okay, let's. I have to try this. Let's take a. Use color to repaint. We are switching this to yellow. Let's rip out it up to here. Let's see. Huh. Yeah, once we add some landing pads there, it will look quite sick, I think. Oh yeah, by the way, windows also help you save on PCU, because like the big ones, 6 blocks covered with just one PCU. They are a little bit heavy and they require silicon, which is a little bit harder to refine than iron. But I think it's very much worth it. God. So satisfying, I think. You can really end up with some crazy results if you limit yourself. Let's see. Here. Yeah, we could have definitely used some bigger windows on this one. Alright, I think I want to try designing the bridge now. So it will be like at the back of the ship. So it kind of goes out here. Tunnel here. Then we have it go up and split into like a hammerhead shape. And we are playing on like almost the lowest graphics. I guess I could disable shadows and that would be pretty much the lowest. Yeah, this game looks pretty nice even on the lowest graphics. I remember when I switched to Space Engineers from Imperion, I was surprised just how well optimized comparatively it is. Like in Imperion you would lag out the game with this many ships spawned in. Here it's just fine. And they have a very budget PC. Like it's not total garbage, but it's also not the top model, so it's like midline. I have a $300 GPU. What's it? RX 7600, I think. Okay, enough. Not sure about this one, but it's an option, I guess. Could make it even wider. What do you? Decent view from up here, I guess. Let's check out this corridor. Look at this. This looks surreal. Just so weird. Oh, need the gravity generator. Do I have one somewhere in here? There it is. Let's just plonk it down here. How does it look from here? Oh my god! Such a stupid staircase. Okay, yeah, we are definitely keeping this because the sounds, it's so stupid. But I do think this is pretty sick. I wonder what this style of building is called. It's definitely somewhat reminiscent of the modern glass towers in real world. Skyscrapers with lots of glass everywhere. But there's also a lot of just unpolished industrial blocks inside as well, so it's like... it's a weird combination. It does look pretty good, I think. Yeah, if you use interesting looking blocks, you will end up with interesting looking results. And if you just use armor blocks that are boring, then you will end up with boring results. Well, I made something that looks like a landing pad. And then I slapped a bunch of it on this experimental ship. To see how it looks. And it looks... pretty good, I think. It's starting to look like an actual ship. It is a little bit weird looking, like this kind of rounded design doesn't really fit with the theme of stuff. Definitely would need to work a little bit more on it for it to fit in better. But we are getting somewhere. Let's see, let's pull out one of my other barges to compare the size. Let's measure the ships. Look at how big this chongus is. Even with all the inefficient blocks, like all the doors are still there, only 15,500 PSU. You can rip out a lot of these connectors and doors from interior and just save a few thousand PSU. This one is just stupid. The amount of just landing pads on it that are small. Each of them has a railing as well, so you can't park a big ship physically. I think, yeah? Yeah. Horrendous. So impractical. But yeah, something is cooking. We are cooking something. Yeah, let's look at it from the side. Takes so long to fly around. I think it's like 300 meters long already. It looks like a weird bug. Alright, let's modify the landing pad design. Yep, there we go. More simple. More simple. Angular design. Whatever. You get what I wanted to say. And if you don't, then you might be stupid. You might be dumb. You might be stupid. I designed the ships, and you watch this unedited multiple hour video? What a loser. Lamau. Look at this bullet train. Spiritually, this is like a live stream, but worse. Or maybe better. It just depends on your thought process about it. There is no chat interaction because there is no chat, but at least it's slightly more edited. But still, lots of just filler content. Complete garbage. Doo-doo. Alright, let's not get too philosophical and and repeat the things that happened in the previous build, where I just looked at solar power technology on the Wikipedia for like 1.5 hours. Let's keep it more space engineers related. Gatling guns are actually not that bad because their bullet velocity is relatively high. You just need to be really close to your target in order to hit 800 meters per second. So yeah, it's useful for fighting against smaller targets where you just want to maximize your chances of getting any hits. And with how little health these small components have, like even a few hits will disable a big part of the ship. Like you don't need the railguns for that or artillery. You would use that for bigger targets. But for ship fighting, large railguns, that's it. Anything else, just you can dodge so easily. Large railguns at least give you a chance of hitting a fast-moving ship. And artillery is just useful for suppression. Keep them dodging. Because if you use only railguns, then they can just idle most of the time. Until you shoot. But if you have a bunch of artillery turrets, it makes you a little bit less predictable. But with meta designs, they just have like 30 railguns, so they shoot one every few seconds. So that provides a comparable effect. But it's definitely more fun to have lots of turrets and just fill the air. Or, in this case, the vacuum. With a bunch of projectiles. And artillery turrets will be enough for most PvE encounters, I'm guessing. Because they won't have a lot of thrust. Even player-made ships that are not NPCs. Like, on the workshop, none of them, except a few, specifically designed by people who know what they're doing, have a lot of thrust. Most of them just can't move really that much. It's just an armor shell with a few thrusters slapped on top of it. Just completely useless. Might as well be playing Blender at that point and just making 3D models. Playing Blender. You know what I mean. This looks absolutely ridiculous, but it's more practical. Because you can kind of see below the ship now. My god. It looks like, you know, one of those oversized spoilers on cars. So stupid. It doesn't look terrible. Let's just say that. It looks decent. Might need some more sauce. Perhaps. I kept a lot of the floor glass for visibility, but could probably remove it. The air vents from the farm modules. You would only need really one of those. I just plonked a bunch of them as a placeholder. To look how the ship would look. To see. Oh my god. Again, this is not very structurally stable, but who cares about this? This is a civilian. A civilian airliner. Oh look, a civilian airliner. Anyway. A civilian industrial ship. It's not for combat. No, I really like how this looks. It's kind of weird. Freaky. No, the video did not freeze. I'm just looking at the stuff. Okay, let's see what else do we need. Medical cryo room. That's one thing we need. And then that's kinda it really. a bunch of auxiliary stuff like projector, you know, all the stuff that you need a single one of. Plonk it somewhere. Maybe the landing gears. Gears. I think both forms of pronouncing it are correct. And language is made up anyway, so if we just decide to pronounce things a different way, then that will become the correct way. As long as other people can understand you, then you can start slowly changing the words. Even a few hundred years, the language is just incomprehensible to us right now. I once found a video with like a sentence, but the words from Old English slowly get replaced by the newer ones. And it's like it's crazy. You just cannot understand anything from a few hundred years ago. Things are a lot more dynamic than you would imagine. Oh. Okay, I should stop starting every clip like this. Or maybe I shouldn't. Anyway, medical room. Yeah, I slapped it together quickly. Here's an assembly of the ship. Is the ship assembly? Bam. Bam. We got the central hub. We got the medical. We got the food. Hydroponics. We got the control. We got the landing pads. Maybe we could make a bedroom decorative thingy, since there are non-DLC beds in the game. We should make a hanger, maybe. Landing gear would be nice. Okay, slightly better landing pad design, I think. Again, they all could exist at the same time. There's absolutely no reason to not only choose one. But here tile 3 by 15 tile. You can remove the central block for a connector. And yeah, you can tile it like that. And it produces an interesting ribcage chainsaw looking shape. Also, it's PCU and mass efficient because of the stair blocks. And I added some of these vent thingy, whatever they called. Windows. These are not windows. Why are they called windows? Like, this is some really outdated naming scheme. These are not windows. Great? Like, great, I think, is a better. Bird window, yes. These are not bird windows either. They are grates, like not great, but great. I guess. I think that's what it's called. Actually, they're great. Great at catwalk, yeah, look. Great at catwalk. Great at stairs. Well, whatever. But yeah, I added them. They look nice. Again, if I don't care about the realism, it really opens up a lot of options because nice. Look, it looks really weird. But if you ignore that, it looks really nice. Breaks up the shape and adds visibility through the structure. So I think it's pretty nice. Also, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't use this for combat, because the reality of Space Engineers combat is that armor is completely useless unless you have a gravity drive ship, because the amount that armor slows you down, like, it makes it completely useless. The Dodger ships are the better strategy. Because what's the point in armor if you will just get hit by literally every shot and it will get stripped from you? To protect against a single railgun shell, you need 3 layers of heavy armor. Or 1 layer for a single artillery shell. It weighs like heavy armor. How much? How much does it weigh? 3 tons per single block. You would much rather... It would be much better to invest in more redundancy on the ship and higher amounts of thrust and gyroscopes to dodge all the shots completely. And if you do want to get armor, just get it on the front of the ship. And minimize frontal profile, and just orient yourselves towards the enemy always. I don't know how well I'm explaining this, because it's pretty simple once you understand it, but if you don't understand it, then it may sound confusing, but it's about dodging. Well, it's kind of like real life. In real life, it's also about dodging. Armor is mostly to protect against, like, light guns fire. But if you get hit, you get hit. And you explode. So just invest in redundancy, invest in maneuverability, avoid the shots in the first place, stay at maximum range and just dodge around. Again, the meta ship. Long rod, with railgun at the front, upward thrust, and the ability to roll around really quickly to change direction. Impossible to track, even if you do hit it, even if you do... I mean, impossible to track, even if you do track it, very hard to hit. And the amount of damage is minimized, because you would need to eat through a lot of layers of blocks to get to the end of it. And, okay, so you might ask, okay, so what if someone attacks from the side? Well, that's a skill issue. No one should attack from the side. Even in a 2v1, you can easily... You can easily just position yourself in a way that other ships are in front of you. And of course, jump drive's always an option. Unless you're in atmosphere, but... to be honest, no one fights in atmosphere. So with a good enough ship and Space Engineers, you either get smashed by a first strike, or you just survive for hours. we can even... Let's do something. Let's do a test. Just as an example. The damage is disabled in this world, but... Here's an average ship that you would find at the workshop. It's my own design when I didn't understand the combat. It barely has any thrust, but it has a lot of guns. So it might as well be static, because it wouldn't be able to dodge any sort of fire anyway. And let's transfer it to Space Pirates. Ow, 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 ow. And we get the ship. Railgun array, even armored, by the way, yeah, look at this. You can armor railguns. Like this. Let's get into the cockpit. I think I have a combat cockpit down here. Yep. Alright, let's see. How do I control this one? I forgot already. Backward. Where is the forward camera? Hello? Down. Left. Right. Forward. There we go. Right, we can approach even at like... Even at 800 meters. Look at this. We just dodge all the shots from artillery, even at this distance. I have to disable dampeners, right. And just hold upward. So unless you screw up, you can just dodge artillery easily. But usually you would be fighting at 2 kilometers, because it's the maximum range. And then you would be firing your railguns. Alright, how do I do it? Switch to weapon railgun. Yep. With just these few shots, I would have already destroyed a lot of the core components on it. It would go through that one single layer of armor like nothing. Well, completely missed. Yeah, the ship is not very maneuverable. And I am very rusty. If anyone wants to see this for yourself, just pull out your ship, tell me in the comments, and we can have a battle. Again, I forgot something from my experience with the modular systems. If you make modules with interiors like this, it really limits their versatility. Because you just have a module with one function and it's more difficult to modify. So I think now that we have practiced with this style, I remember how to do it again. I think we'll try going for the warehouse style module. Not module, yes. interior that I mentioned before, where we just have one big pressurized area that is easy to modify the way you want, because I think you understand how to modify this by now. There's no super duper complicated interior design, it's all just very simple. So we'll just make a giant glass shell, because it's nice being able to see outside. It's nice being able to see inside, and also glass is very low PCU. Easy to work with. I wish they added this... Where's they at? Where are these weird floors? Yeah, there's their DLC, but look at this. Full block, 3x3. Isn't that nice? I think that's pretty nice. It would be nice if there was something like this, but in vanilla game. Without DLCs. I mean, it is vanilla, it's just DLCs. I have to be more specific, but... yeah, right now the only thing we have close to this is the big window. Yeah, and it's not as versatile because there's only one side of it that you can attach stuff to. Just bigger blocks would be nice. Bigger blocks, smoother slopes. Like, there's a bunch of mods that already do that. Might as well add it into the vanilla game. The way they've been going, just adding a lot of new blocks, you just might as well add even more different shapes. Like, the menu is already a total mess. The utility of adding more block shapes and bigger slopes outweighs the pain of it. You just have to make the slopes be one block, like a single block 1x4 slope, instead of just having them split into sections like this, because it's really painful to build assemblies out of this stuff, because you just have to... oh, and they're not even placed in the proper easy to place order in the menu, so... yeah, like look at this. What is this ordering? This should be first, this should be second, this should be third, this should be fourth. Instead we have 2, 1, 4, 3. Absolutely obnoxious. Yeah, no, this ain't it. Let's build something just straight out of Satisfactory. What the hell is this? I mean, the internal concept does work, but the shell is... the shell is ridiculous. Oh no. It could work with some better shaping, because like this section here is very similar, just has some more slopes. I wonder. I wonder. Stop. Stop. Hold. Hold yourself. Hold. Cease. Yeah, we need to make it not square. We need some more shapes to it. I think, probably. Perhaps. Yeah, just testing some stuff out. Circular, I more like the angular. At this point, we'll just end up ripping off the freaking Sidonia. With this shape. Yeah. We'll add some videos. I just want to test out the shape, you know. Yeah, but yeah, circular. I don't know. It just angular kind of matches better, I think. Perhaps. If we are making so many copies of the ship, just every step of the way. We'll soon need a new world to save, because this is just getting... Yeah, look at this. Oh, I'm surprised the game still runs pretty well. Oh yeah, stair spam for the pin. You know what it looks like? This looks like a construction crane. You know, this how the structure in the front is just a frame of stuff, and then in the back you have the counterweight. This is what it looks like. But you know, I am interested what would the circle look like. We are not making a copy of this one. Just let's see. I should engage more symmetry planes for this. My experience with space engineers lately is just experimenting with different weird styles, trying to find something that wasn't done before, and that works pretty well. Yeah, let's see. Man, the freaking washing machine. It looks pretty cool in here. Like the inside of a cinema. That's the only big dark space I can imagine. or sound isolation room. Noise cancellation. Oh my god. We might We might go back to the balls, I have to say. We are getting awfully close to trying code that design as well. Yeah, we might as well try it out. Might as well. Again, this is just an experimental, not an experimental, just what is it? Demonstration design. You could always just add more rows of the containers, make it a lot more versatile and improve structural integrity as well. But yeah, this framework seems to be pretty good way to build ships. This certainly does look unique. Some variants of it. It might be cooler if it's like not the perfect sphere, but some weird shaping on it as well. But yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. Weird. Let's fly into it. Again, you can cut out some holes in it, add doors and stuff. The inside just looks crazy. I don't know, I kinda like this. It looks so weird from far away. Yeah, compared to the normal armor ball, which is, well, armor ball. Boring. This one is... Ooh. I think I'm running into the problem where I'm just experimenting in creative, but there's no actual results. As it gets finished into an operational form. So I did learn quite a bit, but I might honestly just keep doing my survival stuff, survival series, and just bit by bit build up more there, because this stuff, functional core, great innovation. The cockpit and stuff, I can just do it on the fly. Slap some stuff together. These big balls are cool and all, but I don't know. The circular landing pads are meh. Yet we don't even need to have landing pads all throughout the length of the ship. You don't need that much landing space. I think you would just have a few of them attached to the main core, and then the rest of the ship just free to go. Maybe have some bars for higher structural integrity, because right now if a container breaks, the ship will stop in half. I think I have been overthinking this. What we need to do is just attach the parts that we need at the back, cover them in a frame of literally any style, not something that I haven't done before. I have made ships before, if you can believe that. And yeah, that's it. Because right now we are trying too hard to make stuff. You don't need to have the back be modular, you can just make it once and that's it. It's very limited amount of stuff that's not very expandable in terms of crew stuff. Especially in single player. You hit the limit to the amount of food you need and other devices. That's it. Just command control food. Oh, this crap literally keeps me up at night. I just realized something. I forgot to consider a very important thing. That thing being the reason to doing this in the first place. We do not need interiors. The only thing that needs an interior is vegetables. And for that you can just make a small shell that is pressurized. Everything else completely useless. Look, we have... we did the functional design so long ago and then we just spent so much time on this completely useless stuff. Tiny part of the ship, but I spent so much time on it. And I don't even like interiors that much. It's not like I'm doing this like, oh, I didn't like the interiors in the first place. I mean, I just, you can see from us even exploring the interiors, like, whatever that was on other ships. This is just... it's just not even the best designed interior, just not that impressive. It gets boring really quickly and there's nothing to do with it. I'm far more interested in building a massive, functional ship structure than in building a few corridors and rooms to walk around. And then I'm interested in having exposed like catwalks and stuff. It's much more interesting than having interior rooms. So I think that might be actually the ultimate conclusion to this. To us looking for a unique way to design the interior. It's that we don't really need the interior and we should just be making ships with a bunch of exterior catwalks. Because that would allow us to build a lot more places to just run around. We get a better view of the ship, it's much more serviceable, it's easy to build. Like, there's so many benefits. And when you build interiors, you limit yourself to a space. It's harder to build. It takes a lot more time to build, maintain, like... literally, more effort for a worse outcome. So unless you specifically want an interior, which... I mean, you could want to, I don't. I'm more interested in like industrial barges and stuff. And I think these are my favorite ships. Like the carrier I built, what is it, 29? I think the number on it, yeah. Like the interior, how much time did I actually spend in the interior of it? Not that much really, it mostly was just looking at it from outside. But the interior is like, oh wow, you waste time going in through the doors. And then it's like, I guess you could look out the window, but the game is lagging now. Oh, yeah, there's too many grids. And they're too big. Oh wow, we have some plants. That's crazy. You are limited to seeing only the few rooms and not the entirety of the ship. Because if this was an exposed interior, well, the exterior in that case, then you would be outside of the ship, just seeing all the functional weird components in their glory. And it would be much easier to use, because you can just jetpack around. Or if you don't have a jetpack, then walk around. You could get much more connections, much quicker. Look here, look at this. It's not exactly the example of what we are going to go for, but like, look, massive structure that you can just walk around and you see just so many things around you. The depth to it is just much greater. Like, you can see most of the ship from here. Meanwhile, an actual interior on the ship. Let's just compare it. Again, I'm not the greatest interior builder. I could do them much better, probably. I would say that they are not horrible. It could be just flat armor block walls. And this was before even more recent DLC this came out. So there's not that many blocks, but like, wow. Look at this. Rooms you can walk around. And when you're walking around them, you are just limited to seeing the room and little glimpse of the ship. And then you waste time going up all these stairs when you need to get to the cockpit. Like, wow, isn't this amazing? Meanwhile, here, you just... Ooh, so much stuff. You can run around everywhere. You can see a lot of the ship. Okay, the frame rate is getting a bit annoying. You can have big frame structures. Just, ooh. Well, I don't know why my recent build videos just ended me having an existential crisis. But it do be like that. Let's... It would be... Okay, first of all, we need to save this modular system. Let's save modular system 2. Save us. It should create a new save file. And then we'll just clear up the world of stuff that we don't need. We'll keep this with us. City list. All grids. Delete. Deleted. We spawn in the last one. The first one, the last one, is the one that we need. And then let's see. If we do play like in our survival series. Oh, I'm in Swedish keyboard layout. There. Back to English. If we do play like we do in our survival series, we'll need to have decent visibility from the cockpit. The container is rotated, not quite like that. I just want to do this on camera. Just to see how much quicker this would be. I can't believe I still can't find the blocks in the build menu. Yeah, decent view. Then we add, let's see. Where's all the stuff? It would be good to have a medical room. Maybe a cryopod. Some trading stuff. The hydroponics I'm not building right now. Want to quickly sketch out the external stuff and see how it would look. Let's see, what blocks are we building the catwalks out of? I'm not using the steel catwalks because they have many shapes and I just don't want to bother switching to different corner shapes and stuff just while making them. I want it to be quick and barely functional. As I want the design to be... The design is very human. And if you know the joke is that design is not actually very human. It's actually absolutely psychotic. Everything that's connected. We can switch to center of mass so we can see if something gets disconnected. He's using these vertical windows. They don't have exactly the best attachment point arsenal, but it works for most stuff. Let's see. Something like this here. Again, I need to be able to get everywhere by foot, because I would be playing without jetpack. So that's just an incentive to build connections between stuff. Landing pads, we don't need landing pads. Things can just sit on the connector above the container. It's actually better that way because it won't fry the container that easily. Or the landing pad below it if the thrusters are even really low. Let's see, the symmetry plane is here already. So now we can add some of these vertical windows to walk around the entire grid, and they would also act as structural reinforcement. We could add another row of them as well. And then further connect them in a different axis. It's nice that through them the conveyors are still accessible by hand. Just let's make some connections around the place so we can walk through them, on them, around them. So this adds a lot more walkability to the grid. Very important factor, even in space engineers. Not just in real life. And also it provides structural reinforcement, while still having high visibility through it. So you can see the functional components, which is nice. The more stuff you can see, the more details the grid has. Structural reinforcement as well, and look at that. It's actually looking a lot more interesting now, and yeah. Huh. That's pretty cool. I think. And we won't have railings. The design is going to be very human, without any safety features. Again, the engineers might as well not be considered human, because they are mostly a spacesuit with a human inside. Like, the life support functions are so good that as long as you get the stuff in the suit refilled, you can just operate on your own. It still leaves the problem of the solar radiation, but you would spend most of the time inside of the ship anyway, piloting something. Like, there's not that much time where you could just walk around the place. Plus, there's always anti-radiation medkits. Whatever they're called. That just block radiation for 10 minutes. I wonder if they can be bought. Probably. So far I have only found them in unknown signals. No, didn't see them in the station yet. Maybe they would be available to buy if you have a high reputation. I guess. Again, I'm just guessing. Here. Yeah, and that's it. You have most of the ship's functionality. You would slap some auxiliary devices, of course, like projectors and batteries and antennas, but it's just a big knot of it somewhere on the ship and you're done, pretty much. Yep. Again, I would need to actually use this framework in survival, test it properly, and see if it fully satisfies every situation, or if I would need to add some more stuff. Because I know we need some stairs, we need some ladders, we need... hangars are completely useless, pretty much. Yes, they could be useful if you want to build a small grid in survival and just roleplay about it, but still, like, internal spaces, mostly just roleplay. And I'm not that interested in that right now. I just want to build a big industry of stuff. But yeah, this advice I think is especially useful if you're playing on a server. Again, you can just straight up skip the catwalks if you're playing on a server, like a kin server, where you have limited PCU. But you could still add it for structural reinforcement. And looks. Actually, another way you can structurally reinforce your grid is by using windows 3x3. They are heavier and they use silicon, so it's more annoying to build, but it's one of the ways, because they are very low on PCU. So you would be able to cover a large area just with them, for a very low price of PCU expenditure. Yes, like, let's see. This entire top section, only 160 blocks. And you have just the entire top covered. So you... they do add quite a lot of mass. Yeah, 160 by 3 tons. That's like half a kiloton. So I'm not sure if it's very worth it in that case. These windows are much lighter, at only 100 kilograms per block. Yeah, actually, these steel catwalks are heavier at 200 kilograms. Some of them even 250. Just light armor panels, 100 kilos. So yeah, vertical windows are pretty good choice. Well, I guess that's solved. Yeah, no finished ship design. Just we know that we just need to get back to survival and build more stuff. I guess it wouldn't take that long to just quickly add everything that you would actually need. And then post it. As a big barge. Okay, I did a bunch of work off camera. I have decided to go with an interior after all. Because if you're going to have plants and stuff inside, you might as well just expand it a little bit more and have other useful stuff for the crew inside as well. Like cryo chambers, trading stuff, magical room. Can always add a copy of that on the outside of the ship, but it's nice to have it inside. There's some more room here. Also, it makes use of all the vents that we used to connect the farms in the first place. And the farms actually, I set them all to glow slightly. So high radius, high fall off, low intensity, and then the color is even lower intensity, so they just provide ambient lighting all around the ship. Then we got some structural reinforcements going on. Oh, I need to put a stairway here. But yeah, you can easily convert them into a landing pad by just connecting them together. For now, it's just provides structural integrity, also makes the ship look nice. I expanded it functionally a little bit more. It's now like 400 meters. Similar to how wide and long the actual ships are, though not as high, not as tall as them. It's crazy how big real life container ships are. Yeah, I just want to... The only thing left right now is to just add some smaller devices and stuff, and that's it. It's pretty much a functional ship. It's very high PCU count, and I don't know if anyone is actually going to build it in survival, because while it is practical somewhat in survival for its purpose, it's kind of like a mobile processing platform. Because usually you would have the stuff just in space and not moving. But I added a bunch of thrusters because it's always fun when you can move around. So definitely more of a fun ship than totally practical, but it's practical and it's fun. Oh yeah, about the styling of the interior, it's just a bunch of glass windows and then in the spots between them some stairs with the border of armor panels. Very simple style, but looks somewhat decent. There's 64 gyroscopes on it right now, by the way. Yeah, it's definitely something that you would not do crazy maneuvers with. Well, it makes sense. It is a massive barge. 10 kilotons when empty. I think it looks quite nice. in its functionality. Let's see. 27,000 PCU, 3,500 blocks. Not that much for a ship of this size. Look at the amount of functional blocks. 64 refineries, 64 assemblers. Way too many containers. 64 upward atmospheric and hydrogen thrusters, which is very little for a ship of this size, because when you load it up, it's enough to fly around with a little bit of cargo. Let's just say that. Just reposition. But definitely not enough to fly with a lot of it. No, a lot compared to the size of the ship, but compared to the smaller ships, like it can lift like 10-20 kilotons of just cargo in atmosphere 1G on atmospheric thrusters. Then if we have hydrogen, like, so it is a lot. If the ship itself only 10 kilotons, the mass of it, you can carry enough cargo to produce multiple of these ships. Okay, I wonder. Let's just do the landing pad conversion that I was talking about. With just spamming these vertical windows. Can be any other block, really. These are just quite nice for this, I think. Oh. Okay, and there we go. Oh yeah, only like a few thousand blocks more. And there you go, massive landing pad. It's funny how the connection points to blocks stand out. The bridge is very small comparatively. It could be much taller, but well, you could always modify it. It's not really just integrated. It's pretty much just attached to the side. Let's delete you. Let's do an actual ship comparison. Let's see. It's the biggest ship in terms of blocks that is finished and that is on the workshop that I made. I think this one is like 8,000 blocks, I think. 7,000. Overestimated. Well, there it is. Quite small compared to this. Okay, let's hop in. Yeah, you would definitely want to have some additional cockpits around the place, just for easier control of it if you need to do it quickly. Well, at least you have plenty of spaces to connect them to. There's a bunch of connect containers just with conveyors on them. Look at the amount of thrust when it's offloaded. I decided to keep the atmospheric thrusters in line. Why not? Oh yeah, by the way, instead of being in the copy world, I just moved back to the original one and just decreased the render distance to 5 kilometers and went away for 5 kilometers from the other blueprints. So we are still in the same world and we can easily see the old stuff. It's just it's not rendered all the time. I like the view from the back. It's quite nice. Let's fly around this thing. The shadow just looks crazy as well. Alright, landing maneuver. We have a top connector over here. The ship doesn't have a lot of sideways thrust, so I will have to do it carefully. Tunk. Oops. And there we go. Neat. Okay, let's, I don't know, enough looking at it. Let's actually finish it up and be done with this concept project and actually do some survival stuff. I like how the blocks are glitching out for some reason. I have no idea why that is happening. You really don't have to hold upward thrust like this on the ascent, you will just drain all the fuel. But it looks cool, so who cares? And we are in creative. nice thing about this concept again is that you can expand it in so many directions. You can expand it to the side, forward, and downward. And upward, I guess. Okay. We are going to do something. Upward thrust override. And it will just exit it. Oh my god, we got street racers outside. They are very loud. Can we pull off? Dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh, it looks crazy. Oh, the thruster effects disappeared. Would they reappear if I crank up the model quality, I guess? Photo mode? Maybe? I would have to wait. Hello? We loading? Or is it going to crash? Probably just loading. This game doesn't crash that often. No, thruster effects are limited. This looks ridiculous from far away. Okay, I think this is it. I'm not going to stop the control panel because I don't want to. Screw you, do it yourself. I went a little bit overboard with the lights. They're just everywhere. Spotlights all the way, everywhere. Yay, everything is lit up. Well, not really everything. The core is not that full lit up. But yeah, some turrets just for fun. Connectors, cameras, or detectors. Pasted it onto the projector to correct the pivot point, safe zone. Landing gear, antenna, remote control, a spare battery just in case. For cold starts, so the conveyor system still works and you can put stuff into the reactors. Also added some seats in the interior, because why not? And now with all this fun stuff we are looking at only 32,000 PCU for this Chongus. Neat. I think that's all you need for it to function decently well. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. Alright, I am forgetting something. I need to put some algae farms, perhaps. Perhaps. Where are the algae farms? There. I will just put like 4 of them. That's not 4. it's a lot more than 4. Yeah, there we go. That will be enough. Put some ladders as well, so you can climb up from the ground. Yeah, I'm not sure. The landing infrastructure on this thing is not very good. You will have to figure out how to land it yourself. Not my problem. Beacon. Do we need the beacon for this? I might as well. It's kind of like a big trading station, so you might as well plop a beacon on it. There. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, quick access cockpit here. You would add a lot more of them, probably even a spare medical respawn room, because for a ship the size of the single one is some very missing redundancy. You would want multiple, just in case. I think I would want multiple, at least, personally. I would want multiple. Yeah, well, that's it. I will now have to record a shorter version of this video and also post this everywhere. So stupid.